Hi guys, and welcome to Reality with T. Don't forget to sip your tea now. Sipping on the ginger. Before you get started, please remember to like this video. Please subscribe to my channel. Please give me some feedback when it's done. Thank you so much for watching. So this episode of Hoarders, season 11, episode 4 from last August was about Becky. Becky owns a house with her husband who is estranged. He lives in California. She lives somewhere on the East Coast or Midwest or something like that. She has 2 daughters, and the 2 daughters are the ones that called. Now, there's a lot of trauma in this family. The first husband, I believe, what happened to him? He was cheating on her. Like, they were in a band, they would travel, and I believe he was cheating. So after 5 years, they divorced, but they were in love. The second husband was abusive to her and her kids, and that was traumatic. And then she ended up divorcing him and leaving him. The last husband seemed like a nice, good-hearted guy because he was on this episode, but I believe they both started drinking a lot, and when he would drink, he would also become abusive. So they have been estranged for some years because of the hoarding. He said that he got fed up with, she would bring stuff home. He's always trying to get rid of stuff. She's pulling it out the trash. She's constantly having him fix stuff, clean stuff, do stuff. And it was a constant nagging of, I just got off of work and now you're having me work. I'm pretty much working all day. Like, let me live, that he could not deal with. So he left. So Becky owns a house with him still that only she is living in. They own the hotel that has 11 rooms, a motel that has 11 rooms, but nobody has occupied it for years. That all of those rooms are hoarded in the motel, just like the home. And then I think near the hotel there's another home that is also completely hoarded. So Becky has it bad, and her hoard is disgusting. Her hoard has rodents and rats and mice and all type of disgusting stuff. And then I'm looking at this motel. I'm like, damn, as much as I watch Hotel Impossible, she don't want that thing, clean it out, I'll take it, then I'll fix it up, and it will be the bomb. Like, I want a hotel so bad. And though that sounds like it's out of my reach, I do think that I can do a Airbnb or Airbnb or a bed and breakfast, and that's what I want to do. So that's one of my dreams. So I'm like, damn girl, you don't want this motel? So either way, the daughters say, their kids can't come to her house because it's not safe. They will meet her, but they'll meet her like to eat somewhere, but her grandkids have never been over to the house. And basically they're just trying to get it so that their mother can live in a safe, clean environment. They all come back into the house. The husband comes back and he actually cries. He's like, I did not know it was this bad. Like, he does care about her. He's like, I did not know, I would not want her to live like this, So, Becky, who comes? Robin Zazio. That's the doctor that we like. That's been on a lot of the shows in a lot of the first seasons that I've been watching. And then we have Corey Chalmers, who's going to do the clean out. And, Robin is trying to reason with her a lot of the time. Robin is very soft-spoken. And what she does notice in the beginning, that Becky is very soft-spoken. She seems really sad. She is lonely. It's kind of like she's just living in a depression, with the hoard, the depression, kind of thinks that she isn't worth more than this. It kind of thinks that this is all she's really worth. And that would make sense because she has been in so many abusive relationships. I think at some point her kids were taken away from her. They had to go live with their dads. And so she was she was lonely. She felt like she had nothing. Maybe the stuff was what kind of filled her void. Maybe it was what protected her from the abuse. We don't know, but she has been through a lot. So she says that she's ready. It seems like it's going to be kind of easy because this one, they say, listen, do you trust us, your family members, and us to make decisions on what is trash and what might not be? Basically, give us free reign to just clean this thing out. Some people, they say, you can only start throwing away the trash, the old food, and anything that's obviously broken. But in the beginning, she said, listen, I just want the stuff out, clean out everything. Now, as the stuff starts coming out, like when we get to the second day, this is when she starts overnight regretting and looking for stuff and thinking about. The next day, she's like, I had a bag of vitamins. I dumped them in a bag, and I think those are gone, and my glasses are gone, and my license is gone. And, she's kind of starts grabbing stuff. And then you hear that she took an item over to the daughter's house the night before, that night, and her kids were eating, but she had like rat poop all over her and everything. And they were explaining to her, I think it was hantavirus that comes from mouse poop. Like 40% of the people that get hantavirus die. So your house is not only dangerous to you, but also I don't want you around my kids if you didn't shower and wash and wear clean clothes up into my house, because you're bringing that stuff in. Not to mention the ants that are all around and the bugs that's probably hopping off of her. Disgusting. So, they confront her the next day and they're like, I thought that you said that you were on board. These were the boundaries. I thought that we had free reign. Why are you showing up at her house, trying to bring stuff over there? And I see, and I think the doctor saw her taking stuff from the motels and putting it in the house, whatever it was. And she just kind of is in this like circular conversation in her head. Like, no, I did this because, trying to justify, trying to excuse, trying to the whole thing. And this is the first time I actually saw Robin get really frustrated with the client, where she just kind of kept pushing, like, no, you're not following the rules. We're following your rules. You're not following the rules. And I thought that it was kind of going nowhere the way it was happening. Of course, Corey is getting, frustrated because remember his job is just to get in there and get the junk out and set it up. And it was just getting very tense, But it ended up that they had... Oh no, at this time, the husband now had a blow up because she was saying, well, you can't get into room number 8 because I don't have the key. And so he was like, listen, what, you keep having all these excuses. You said you were on board. So he walks over, runs over, and he's like, I'm just going to kick the door down. But he goes and the door is open. And he's like, what the F? The door is open. You made this whole big thing about room 8 because they're also trying to clean out all the rooms in the motel. And it's open. Let's just do this. Let's get rid of the crap. He just has this whole big breakdown. And then Robin has to go over him and tell him to calm down. So basically, toward the end, they started making a lot of progress. She did get caught up on the clothing, so they're kind of like, Ma, you're not going to wear this, you're going to wear this, whatever, get rid of all these clothes. Stuff, she didn't understand the difference between what is dangerous, what is not. So like, listen, this stuff has rat poop on it, this stuff has feces on it, this stuff has bugs and stuff on it. Remember, she has been using her bathroom. She has to go to the gas station to even use the bathroom. Her toilet's been broken for a long time. She says for about a year. So, they're kind of like, this is not safe for you. And she wasn't really getting what was safe and what wasn't safe. I believe it was her that at some point in her bedroom, she was like, there was like a lemon and a little jar of cloves on her dresser. And Corey took her to the bedroom and said, listen, we're about to come in here and dig everything out. And she was like, well, no, I just want to keep my lemon and my cloves. And he's like, why? What? She's like, well, that was to keep the bugs away. My daughter gave me the lemon to keep the bugs away. And so they're going back and forth. And they're like, all the bugs in this house, a lemon is not going to do it. And then at some point, Corey was like, listen, we're standing here. He's in the doorway. He's like, we're standing here talking about a 15-cent lemon. Like, why? With all the junk that's around here, who cares about an effing lemon? You know what I mean? And I felt the same way. I'm like, what are they talking about? Like, them clothes ain't going to do anything. So he was just like, listen, this is not something, we're spending a lot of time on this and this is wasting our time. We're going to move forward from it. You get the stuff. So this is a piece of fruit, a 15-cent or a 7-cent piece of fruit. Get over it. You know what I mean? So they end up cleaning out and she ends up, I believe in the end, she ends up liking it. She's happy. She is very appreciative in the end of how the house looked because, then they gave her a new couch. And she said, it's the first time anybody's ever given me anything. I've never had a new couch like this. So then you start to realize like she really did not feel that she was worthy of living any better than this. She's never had anything new. She just resigned to the fact that like, this is my life now. I'm such a bad person. And I'm guessing that if they take your kids away from you, you might think that I'm such a horrible person. If I don't deserve my kids, I don't deserve anything else, So really this one was sad as well. But I think in the end, it said that her and the daughters were kind of estranged because they always ended up fighting whenever they came over. But the daughters, in the episode, they were happy that the kids would be able to come over to grandmother's house safely. There was a room for the kids and a couple beds for them to sleep in and be comfortable. So it ended up nice, but it seemed like there was some, I don't know how much she's really going to change her behavior. And also in the end, the husband said, listen, I'm just going to give you the deed and the house is yours. You don't have to buy me out. Now that I see that you're going to take care of it, we hope, I'm just going to give you the house. You don't have to worry about it. Let me see, I'm skipping around. There's also a point in the episode where she started going through things, and she would go through things and find stuff that were bad memories, such as like when she was standing, she was like, I came across a restraining order against my husband. And so Robin Zazio was like, okay, what's the significance of that if you never mailed it in and he's standing next to you? And she's like, yeah, but he was abusive. And she's like, yeah, but he's standing next to you right now. So what does that mean? And she's like, I guess it just, brought up some stuff. So then Robin is like, well, let's get to the bottom of this. Like, can you admit that you've been abusive to her? And so he said, yeah. Some of the stuff he said, I didn't say, but then he was like, yeah, I have been. And he said, I do regret that. And Robin said, listen, he's regretting it. That kind of means he's saying sorry. Do you accept it? And she says, I'm going to try to. And I think toward the end, she did accept his apology. And I guess him giving her the rest of the house was a sincere apology. At some point at the hotel or at the other house, she came across her divorce papers and this and that, and she chooses to hold on to these things. And Robin said to her, why would you want to keep torturing yourself over and over with the negative memories? Why don't you get rid of it? And maybe that is what's keeping her in the hoard. You know what I mean? Like, I just need to keep punishing myself. I'm going to keep punishing myself. This is all I deserve. This is all I'm worth, which is a pretty sad thing if you think about it. Let me see. Anything else happened from the episode? That's about it that stood out to me. Either way, let me know what you think. Like, comment, subscribe. I think they do good work in these episodes. I would love to be a hoarding, like, I would like to see this, but I would also like to be someone to talk someone through this, to be the therapist in some of these cases, because I just think it's so interesting. I could definitely see myself getting frustrated like Corey, but I think that it might be a good learning experience for me. So I don't know, maybe I'll look into it. Either way, let me know what you think. See you in the next video. Thank you. Bye-bye.